Hey everybody, Arnaldo here broadcasting from Fidelio's Frequency. Welcome to my channel and welcome to another video focusing on the records of the month for the subscription club, Vinyl Me Please. Today we'll be talking about the June records of the month. I know I'm a bit late. Unfortunately, I can't control when Vinyl Me Please sends out my shipment, so it takes me time to actually listen to them, do some research on them. And today I actually have something a little bit special regarding one of the selections that they sent me, but we'll get to that in a moment. Before we talk about the two selections, or the tracks, as Vinyl Me Please likes to call them, subject of this video, which are the Essentials and the Rock track, I'd like to also mention the other tracks which I'm not subscribed to that are also featured as June records of the month. So the classics track is A Little Touch of Schmelson in the Night by Harry Nilsson. In the hip hop track or category, we have Capital Punishment by Big Pun. And the country selection of the month for June is Charlie Worsham's Rubber Band. So let's get to the two selections that we'll be talking about in this video. First, I'll start off with my add-on track, which is not my main subscription, but the one that I added on to my main subscription. And that is the rock category. And this month it features the self-titled album by T-Rex and my main track subscription, which is the Essentials category. And this month it features Black Moses by Isaac Hayes. So I guess we'll start off with Isaac Hayes and Black Moses. Let's take a look at the OB first of all. And it tells us that it is an all analog release with lacquers cut from the master tapes by Ryan Smith at Sterling Sound. It is pressed on a blue colored double vinyl and has a listening note booklet by Andrew Winistorfer and the oversized fold out poster. But first I wanted to show you the jacket, which unfortunately does not replicate the original jacket. It's only a gatefold. Still very nicely done, as you can see here, and has this matte finish because it was printed on reverse board, which actually is the non-finished, let's call it non-finished side of the record jacket. Instead of printing on the more polished and finished side, they chose to give it a matte finish and hence printed on the, let's call what we call it, the reverse board or the inner side of the jacket. The original release, as I mentioned, came out, most of the copies at least, came out in a fold-out jacket, which folded out actually to what Vinyl Me Please translated into a fold-out poster. And as you can see here, it replicates the original fold-out jacket. Slightly smaller than 12 inches, but nice, heavy cardstock poster. I guess we'll take a look at the booklet. It's an 8-page booklet with essay, and they were able to, in a clever manner, repurpose some of the artwork that was lost from the original gatefold, and they took up the last 2 pages of the booklet to print and replicate the story of Black Moses told by Chester Higgins. Black Moses is Isaac Hayes' 5th album, released in 1971, while the previous album, the predecessor to this one, the blockbuster, chart-topping, commercial breakthrough album or soundtrack by Isaac Hayes of the movie Shaft, was actually still in the charts, and I think actually pretty high up in the charts. But this was a different affair for Isaac Hayes. He referred to this album as being one of his most personal albums, and as a matter of fact, it's considered his breakup album, and you can tell by the choice of songs lyrically on this album. He did write a few originals, but he also did a slew of covers, excellent reinterpretations of classics of the time. Starting off with Never Can Say Goodbye, which was a hit for the Jackson 5. Then there are 2 Burt Bacharach and Hal David songs, one by the Carpenters, Close to You, and the other one by Dionne Warwick, obviously sung by these people. Never Fall in Love Again. And then There's also, I believe, Never Gonna Give You Up. So a lot of covers, but more importantly, and this is how I have learned to know about this album, the original by Isaac Hayes called Ike's Rap. And the reason why I know this is because it's been sampled on some of my favorite records. First, Portishead in 1994 sampled it in Glory Box. The following year, Tricky also sampled it in Hell's Round the Corner. And most recently, I think in 2016, Alessia Cara sampled it in the song Here. Isaac Hayes, a master of reinterpreting these songs, incredibly and beautifully arranged, backed by, in part by the Bar Keys. I think it was a house band from Stax, if I'm not mistaken. And also his own band, the Isaac Hayes Movement, with the beautiful, exceptional backing vocalists named Hot, Buttered, and Soul. Beautiful album, pressed. It sounds amazing, pressed very well, beautifully, except for the fact that I had a little edge warp, which Vinyl Me Please took care of. Their customer service have already shipped out a replacement copy, so kudos to Vinyl Me Please as usual for that. And I have a little extra for you guys because I did a comparison with an original pressing. And although, as I mentioned before, the original pressing came out in the extra fold-out jacket, the copy that I have, and it is a first pressing, I checked the matrix numbers, does not unfortunately have, it's just a plain single sleeve album. And comparing the two, I would have to say that I will be disposing or donating, gifting the original, because there is no comparison to what Vinyl Me Please did on this pressing. It's very noticeable, immediately noticeable. It's not even close. I mean, the original doesn't even come close to this. The bottom end on the Vinyl Me Please version is perfect. The right amount of bottom end and definition and punch. More importantly, the soundstage of the instruments is much wider and a little bit deeper compared to the original. And the voices, whether it's Isaac Hayes' voice or the backup singers, they sound so alive. So I cannot recommend this anymore. Grab it while you can from Vinyl Me Please. The Isaac Hayes Black Moses is definitely probably one of the best releases by Vinyl Me Please this year, along with the Black Sabbath Master of Reality. So excellent job, Vinyl Me Please, with the reissue of Black Moses. And now let's talk a little bit about the rock track for the month of June, and that would be the self-titled album by T-Rex. And all right, let's take a look, starting off with the Obi, another AAA release, all analog, lacquers cut once again, from the master tapes by Ryan Smith at Sterling Sound. The vinyl is on a color called Jewel of Frost. And also we have a booklet with listening notes by Jason Diamond. Now, what Vinyl Me Please have done in this release is actually replicating the original packaging, and they did it very well. It has this semi-gatefold, or let's call it fold out, or some people refer to it as a unipack, and with the part of the album that flips open to reveal the entire cover, and on the inside it actually reveals the lyrics. And the booklet, very well done also in this case. We do have some extra artwork, and as you can see, there are drawings that I believe were not in the original artwork of the release, and another insightful essay, this time by Jason Diamond. So this also is a fifth album. The fifth album by Mark Bolan and Mickey Finn, who had been previously operating as Tyrannosaurus Rex, and let's call this one the first album where they abbreviated their name and now go by T-Rex. Like I said earlier, Mickey Finn and Mark Bolan, main members of T-Rex. Faithful producer, I believe he produced all the albums up until then. Tony Visconti, also producer of David Bowie, and he also plays bass on this album like he has also in previous albums. This is the, let's call it a transition album for T-Rex. It came out in 1970, and it's when T-Rex started moving towards more an electric sound. Up until then, they were more of a folk-based type of group, and this has a blend of both acoustic moments and electric moments, and it has a lot of pastoral themes. There's lyrics about druids, wizards. One of the songs is actually called Beltane Walk. So you get the picture. Actually, two of the songs on here had been previously released, and that is Wizard and 1 Inch Rock. Here, they're given like a electric reworking. One more thing to note is that this is the American track listing. And what's different in the American track listing? They swapped out the last song, which on the British version is a reprise of The Children of Rarn, which is the first track. Instead of ending the album with that, they chose in America to end with Ride a White Swan, which was the single that had just been released independently in the UK and actually was very successful in the US. I think probably their most successful song up until then, and maybe even afterwards. So the label chose to tack that on at the end, and I think that was actually a very smart decision because that's a fantastic track. So as far as the pressing, again, I think Vinyl Me Please knocked it out of the park. Sounds fantastic. Actually, in this case, I didn't even have any issues with quality control. Flat, silent. I don't have an original copy to compare it to, but I'm quite satisfied with this version. So if you like T-Rex, if you like this album and you don't have it, I have seen the original around in the bins for not that much money. So that's your choice. It's up to you. This is actually very well done. I'm perfectly fine for now with this pressing by Vinyl Me Please. And that wraps it up for this month's review video of Vinyl Me Please releases. Two excellent releases, at least the ones that I received. I cannot recommend them any more. And thank you so much. I will see you on the next Vinyl Me Please recap in a few weeks probably, or on other videos on my channel. Thank you so much for watching, for subscribing. Don't forget to click that subscription button and the like, and leave a comment with any questions or give me your feedback. So that's it for now, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.